This is
Make it plain.
Make it plain.
MIP
With Masamela Matfumo.
Mark Thompson.
Make it plain.
Get woke.
New from Radiotopia presents Red for Revolution, an audio drama about Black love, queer romance, and liberation. Join Jasmine, an 18-year-old navigating her queer identity while learning about her grandmother's secret love affair. Through her discoveries, we're transported back to 1971 to witness two remarkable women embark on a romance that defies all conventions. Subscribe to Radiotopia Presents and listen to Red for Revolution wherever you get your podcasts.
Once again, it's time for Thursday Kos on this Thursday, and happy to have with us, as always, the founder of the largest online progressive community, Markos joins us, and we got to talk, y'all, because last week we're on our honeymoon, and just a few hours later, a few days later, 8 Democrats tried to annul the celebration, the marriage, the honeymoon. You know how in the wedding, they should have just said that Tuesday morning. You know, now anyone is opposed to this, speak now, forever hold their peace. They should have just said that, and we would not be fooled. So, as you all know, Markos is also involuntarily my therapist, as are others of you. Talk me off the ledge, everybody. Feel free to join the comments. Markos, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna give it to you. To me, this is more than just about a shutdown. I hate to be, people say I'm too conspiratorial. I hate to be this way, but it's almost as if these jokers made a decision, or somebody made a decision, or there was some exchange, because they could have ended the shutdown. They could have waited till today. I mean, it's so many different opportunities, but to do it the way they did it makes me wonder whether or not it was about more than that. Maybe someone made a decision. We got to knock down some of this euphoria. We got to knock down this feeling of victory, which again begs the question, are these individuals, we know Angus King isn't, are these individuals really Democrats or progressives or anything? Who does this? Who does this? I mean, even if that's what you're going to do, hey, y'all, nobody in the room said, let's give it a week. Let's celebrate for a week, but it's like we are determined to knock this down. Not just in the shutdown for that sake, but we're going to kill this. Am I crazy?
I mean, I don't know what the reason was. I still don't understand what the reason was. Like, they claim it was about people being hungry and SNAP benefits, and that's legit. But to me, it's interesting that Republicans are being blamed, and they're not just being blamed in the polls, right? You have an election where Donald Trump flat out says the 2 reasons we lost is because I wasn't on the ballot and because of the shutdown. And he was feeling under pressure to end the shutdown. You need Democratic votes to do that, or you end the filibuster. I'd be totally happy with them ending the filibuster. They decided they didn't want to do that for whatever reason. And so why give them votes without getting anything in return? And that's the thing, right? They got 0 in return for that vote. Although that's not 100% true, and I'll get to there's a silver lining. Should I get to the silver lining, or should we sit in our feelings about how stupid of a decision it was?
Well, no, let's deal with the feelings first. Let's get the stupidity on the record.
There was no reason for them to do that. There was no reason to buck the caucus. Why not stick with your caucus? If your caucus didn't feel, the Democratic caucus, if your colleagues didn't feel it was time, it wasn't ready, why not stick with them? Why not have that sort of Democratic solidarity that had been doing the party so well all along for the shutdown fight? And just in general, I mean, it's been, I know everybody's been, Mamdani versus Spanberger versus Cheryl. Most people aren't thinking about that. That's like inside the Beltway political chatter. None of it is real, really. What was real is that Democrats slowly were finding their footing, challenging Trump. And and this goes back all from the election, right? if you make your campaign all about Trump being a threat to democracy, which he is, why are you going to act like he's a regular opposition leader or regular president? He's not a regular president. Republicans act like every Democratic president is a threat to the Republic. We finally have one that is a threat to the Republic, both parties. We have one that is legitimately a threat to our Constitution. And you have Democrats that still break away and make common cause with Republicans for no reason. That's the part, for no reason. There is no compromise. There is no concession. There was nothing other than a vote on the ACA subsidies.
Which you don't have, which didn't happen.
Oh,
And
it
doesn't
happened.
happen.
We lost it. Yeah.
And nobody knows it was going to happen. And they need cloture for that still, right?
No, they had the up and down vote and it lost. Oh yeah, you would need 60 votes to get it through anyway,
Right.
but it lost flat out, right? Every Republican vote, like we knew it was a 53-47 vote. Like there's no mystery there.
So you get, if you hold that ACA vote, what's going to prevent that from happening again?
I mean, it lost, right? So it's done, and it was never going to pass in the House. I mean, Johnson said he wouldn't even bring it up for a vote, right? So it wasn't a concession. They got nothing for it. That's the part that gets me. They got nothing for it. And of course, Republicans walked around in the victory lap, claiming credit, right? That Democrats caved and they got everything they wanted. For what? For what? What do those Democrats think? What does Dick Durbin? Oh my God, thank God he's leaving. What did Dick Durbin think that got him? Or his party? Or the Democrats' efforts next year? No, I'm sure if you ask him, he'll say people were starving. But Trump is cutting those SNAP benefits anyway. He's cutting healthcare benefits. People are going to suffer for the next couple of years. It's just the America we're going to live in for now.
House Democrats will take steps to force a vote on a 3-year extension of expiring Affordable Care Act tax credits.
They're not gonna get it. They're looking for the discharge petition. It's not a single Republican's going to sign on to that. Maybe Marjorie Taylor Greene. They might get one.
And that's because she's mad at Trump these days, and she's hearing from her constituency too.
Yeah, and the rest of the party, they're all those other Republicans. They're hearing from it too. She's the only one that seems to be responsive to it, though, because she's the only one that doesn't. Yeah, she doesn't seem to be afraid of. She's talking about running for president. She doesn't seem to be afraid of Trump the way others are, which really she shouldn't be. Like nobody should be afraid of Trump. I don't understand the deep fear he instills in them. Oh no, he might tweet against me. Kids like, who cares?
Well, I guess they're worried about Fox too. I don't know. But okay, so now tell me, you have some. So let me tell you my silver lining first.
All right.
What we're even discussing now, even the sellout. In the past, this is not the first time they've done it, but in the past, that's been sort of a inside the Beltway discussion too.
Mm-hmm.
But because everybody got it, there was not a soul that was not upset Sunday night. Was heartening to me because it shows that even outside the Beltway, people are getting it. They're seeing the sellout. There's a level of sophistication that understands how demoralizing that is. So the people who made the decision to sell out still operate out of that white consultant class culture. They won't know what we're doing anyway. They won't understand it. We just want to feed people. But it didn't work. I mean, people who normally do not talk about this kind of thing are upset and are therefore awakened. And those people are going to have to either change or stay home. So that's my silver lining, that there seems to be a consensus. I mean, I haven't run into anybody. Oh, they kind of had to do it. No, nobody gets it. So that's my silver lining, if there's one.
Yeah, I got a better one than that. But I will add, before I get to that, even Chuck Schumer was against this, Gabe. I mean, that is progress.
Nobody believes that, Markos. So people believe that he asked Gene Shaheen to do the cover for him, just like Mark Warner asked Tim Kaine to do the cover for him. Nobody believes that.
I haven't seen, I mean, That feels very conspiratorial to me, honestly. I think he learned his lesson from the last time when he actually legitimately when he what was it, back in March for the debt limit, and he caved and he heard it. And I think he sees it. I think he sees the anger. So the silver lining goes back to that vote, that failed vote to extend the ACA subsidies. Mark, what would have happened had Democrats won? I'll let you play it out. What would have happened had Democrats won and Trump would have caved on the ACA subsidies? What would have happened then?
If he had caved, I mean, that would have been great, right?
But then what? So Democrats would have gotten a year extension on the ACA subsidies, right?
Right.
You know that 70% of recipients of those subsidies right now are white Republicans in rural districts. Would we have gotten credit for that?
No, because we wouldn't have asserted it. We probably could have if we knew how to assert it, if we knew how to describe it. Yeah, you're right. Wow.
And if we had a message machine, right, we would have saved those same a-holes that vote for Trump and Republicans. We were fighting to protect their health care. We never would have gotten credit, and I would bet you that Trump would have taken credit. He would have been like, I saved your health care.
How many? Give me that percentage again.
It's about 70%.
Are Republican.
Are rural, white rural districts. It's very much disproportionate states that did not do Medicare expansion. They're the ones that are most dependent on those subsidies.
Senator Jeanne Shaheen revealed that Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer knew the entire time about their plan.
I mean, he may have known. Doesn't mean he has to agree with it. What power does he have?
We kept leadership informed throughout. But he's the leader.
Mark,
can't do that. You can't do that without the leader signing off on it.
Yeah, I mean, of course you can. I mean, it happens all the freaking time. I mean, you have Rand Paul bucking his leadership all the time. I mean, there's no power. The only power he has is the power to assign committee seats. It's literally the only, and raise money for them, right? Is he really going to jeopardize a Senate seat in New Hampshire over this? Of course he's not. We can't be in a deeper minority. Like, those individual senators have all the leverage. So as a leader, you have to be persuasive. And if you want to talk about, okay, he failed on that front, that's a different conversation. But he can't force them not to vote to do this.
Nancy could. Did nothing move without her.
Yeah, Nancy was a unique historical figure. She also, it was also better when Trump was in power. When Trump wasn't in power, her caucus wasn't as unified as it was when they were in power. But yeah, no, she was a unique figure. But the House is different than the Senate. The House, you have a lot more control. You have a lot more power. Senate is just, I mean, one seat of 435, whatever, you lose it, who cares? One seat out of 100, it's a big deal. The Senate's a lot more hard to keep under control. And I'm no Chuck Schumer apologist. I don't like, I'm in the, we need to have Brian Schatz as Senate Majority Leader. That's the train I'm on right now. But I also think that being angry at Schumer for this is not the most productive or even well-directed place to direct that anger. But I will say, by having that vote, it is very clear now that all those people, they're going to lose their health care. And it's very clear who cost them that health care. I want every Republican who is on ACA subsidies or food stamps or any of those government benefits or seeing reductions, I want them to know exactly whose fault it is, because there's no way you can message out of that one. And had we won that, we would have basically helped a lot of Republicans keep their health care, and they would not have suffered the consequences of their vote.
But even you and I, it's just you and me talking about it. It's not like Democrats are using what you're saying.
I mean, they're about to lose their premiums. I mean, they're about to go up. So that's happening.
No, but what I'm saying is Democrats still aren't messaging that. What you're messaging right now,
Oh, yeah, well, they suck at that. That's a different story. That's a different story. To me, the silver lining is had we won, we wouldn't really have won. There would be a bunch of people online going, yay, we won. It would not have had any broader repercussions on the electorate. What's going to happen with those people who lose those subsidies, I don't think they're going to turn into Democrats because I think they're bad people and they voted for Trump because they're bad people. And they are truly deplorables. What I hope happens, and what I'm hearing from people who work in rural politics, is that people are tuning out of politics. Because remember, last time, all 3 times that Trump ran, we had more and more votes come out of rural districts that nobody knew even existed. I mean, I remember looking at those numbers. We hit all our targets in 2016. We still lost because all these rural voters came out of like the woodwork, and we're like, where are these people coming from? We want them. They're not going to they were not politically engaged. Only Trump engaged them. They don't turn out in elections in like 2018. They did not turn out in 2022. And they did not turn out last week. I want them gone. I don't want them to ever turn out again. Screw this universal voting thing. Like, they can go back to whatever meth house that they live in now without healthcare, because you know what? We got them healthcare and they voted it away. Screw them. But it needs to be crystal clear to people that voting Republican screwed them, and so they can tap out. And maybe some of them will vote Democrat, and even better. Maybe some of them aren't terrible. I'm sure there's gonna be a handful of them that aren't. But if we can get those people just to like tune back out because it doesn't work out for them, I think it's a success. And had we won that, I mean, I'm not sure what we would have won, other than like 3 days or one afternoon of cheering on Twitter. Like, who cares? So it pisses us off that Democrats don't fight, but that wasn't the fight to have, not over Republicans' ACA benefits.
So you don't think we would have gotten credit because, well, I guess you're right. The Democrats don't know how to message that.
And we don't have a machine. We don't have our Fox News. Like, even if you knew how to message it, where are you going to message it?
Just like maybe email people to death like they already do.
Right? No, they're too busy emailing asking for money to email with useful information.
We need health insurance for all them doggone emails because that's wearing people out. I mean, it's triggering after, and they get the names wrong. They email me Markos. No, that's Markos. I'm Mark. You know, Markos. I had a next door neighbor named Maisha. I get all of Maisha's Democratic fundraising emails.
Oh, funny.
I'm not Maisha.
No, you're not. So, but that's to me, it's the silver lining. Is that, yeah, it's disappointing for activists to see the party cave again. But we wouldn't have gotten credit for it anyway. And now it's really clear who is to blame for what, 8 million people losing their healthcare. I've seen I've seen everything from like 6 million to 13 million. I don't know how many are going to actually lose, but it's going to be in the millions. It's on them.
Wow. So hopefully this won't break us. I mean, we need people not, because it does. That stuff does historically. We need to be different folks. I was on another show today, and the people, the Democratic establishment, let's change that. We, those of us who did what we did Tuesday, are the Democratic establishment.
Mm-hmm.
Don't trip and flip over those other people. They're not long for this world. All right? It's us. We need to assert our, and when I say Democratic establishment, many of you aren't in the party who still voted. So, you know, when we say Democratic, we mean small d, not just big D. That didn't sound right. But
it's a different kind of podcast. All of a sudden.
But no, Mark, you know, but if you Google a hashtag, then you think I'm talking about Donald Trump when I say small d. That's not what I meant. But the thing is that it's us. So let's, like the song says, boots on the ground.
But Mark, can I tell you about the most important race I don't think anybody's ever heard of?
What?
I'm going to tell you about Tennessee's 7th Congressional District. You know about this race? December 2. Might be December 3, whatever that Tuesday is. December 2nd or 3rd. special election to replace Mark Green. This is a district that Donald Trump won 62-38, right? So it's a solidly red district. Special election to replace that seat. I cannot tell you how important this is, Mark, because right now you have Republicans being pressured by Donald Trump to redistrict Kansas, Indiana, Ohio, Florida, a couple more states probably in there. And, already you have Texas already did it. North Carolina already did it. Missouri already did it. But suddenly everybody started pausing after Tuesday. Republicans pausing because they're like, I think we talked about this earlier, the way you redistrict to make more Republican seats is that you make existing Republican seats less Republican. So you have to take those Republican voters and you have to move them into either contested seats or Democratic majority seats to flip them. You follow?
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah. So right now you have a Republican Party that's going like, wait a second, what just happened? Holy crap, what happened last week? And you're like, maybe it's an anomaly. Maybe it's just Virginia because we had a bad governor's candidate. They had a train wreck of a candidate. And, New Jersey is a red state. Never mind that Trump almost, he came within 5 points last year, right? They're like, oh, New Jersey is a red state or a blue state, so don't count. And they're ignoring Georgia seats because, those Georgia seats are weird and it's not top of ticket. It's Public Utilities Commission. So they have all these excuses why it doesn't really, it's not a reason to worry. Tennessee 7, they're all watching though. If we overperform significantly in Tennessee 7, I think all those redistricting efforts are dead. Because ain't no Republican. It's called an R10 district. That means it's 10 points more Republican than the nation at large. If you cut into that by half, that means every Republican out there is going to be like, don't be cutting into my district. No, don't make it. It's because they know it's going to be a tough climate. It's going to be an even tougher climate next year than it is this year. So if the Republican wins by 62 points, I think everybody rests easy. They continue doing what they're doing. If they overperform by 5 points, then they may get worried. But if you make that a single digit race, if you only, the Republican only wins by like 9 points when Trump won by 20 something points, you're going to see the Republican Party absolutely in panic mode. And it's not even a question of just stopping the redistricting. I think if you make that single digits or mid-single digits, at that point, you're starting to see Republicans step away from Trump.
Look, they'll be going back. They'll be going back in January to do some more to redistrict back things the way they were. Right.
Right.
I mean, it's stupid enough to do. Oh, wait, we made a mistake.
Yeah. In the interest of democracy, let's put it all back. Tennessee
Turnout
7
was 75% down. Wait a minute. Is this the same district?
It's got a little bit of Memphis, and then it goes south from there. So it's mostly rural.
It was down 75%.
In the primary or what?
Yeah, they had their primary. The Democrat running had a primary turnout of 31,000. Republicans had a primary turnout of 36,000.
I mean, you see that kind of turnout in the general election, Mark? That kind of difference, and it could absolutely reshape how Washington. So every Republican is looking at this district like this is the bellwether about how scared they should be. So Tennessee 7's got a little bit of Memphis in there. They've diluted Memphis obviously by cutting, chopping it up into like 8 different. But we need to maximize our urban and suburban turnout, and then hope that the rurals who are getting hit with like cuts to their hospitals and cuts to their healthcare, maybe they stay home. But you can make that a single digit race, Mark. I mean, God forbid we win it. Holy crap. We win that race, Mark, it's gonna be an earthquake. I don't think we will, but it's crazy season right now.
There's a woman running against Matt Van Epps, whose campaign is saying it is a, quote, a little concerned by recent election. So to your point, there's a dilution going on in terms of some of
Well,
these spaces.
so I mean, not in this one. This one has not been redistricted, but there's definitely dilution. Yeah, it's Republic. Like, this is a safe seat. If it suddenly becomes competitive, all those other Republicans in safe seats that they're asking to cut their districts up to redistrict, they're being like, no, don't take away my Republican voters. Keep me safe. And this may actually, and I've written about it, and I think we talked about it last week, where Republicans may come to rue their redistricting in Texas, because they've weakened themselves and they're dependent on Latino voters staying Republican, and they snapped back hard for the Democrats in both New Jersey and in Virginia last week.
All good news. So, folks, we gotta stay in this. We can't be euphoric and go back to demoralization, even though there were those who were trying to do that Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So we gotta stay on this. All right. Markos, Melissa's Thursday Kos. Thank you. I know you're on the road and headed back out, and be safe in your travels. We'll see hopefully we'll have good news again next week, and stupidity and clowning will no longer prevail.
And I know you got lots of people, in Tennessee and Memphis. You should definitely check in on them and ask about that. And I'm curious about what you're hearing as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. I wasn't up on the 7th. Yeah, let's do that. I will definitely do that.
All right. So catch you next week.
Thursday Kos, y'all. It has been made plain.
Thanks for getting woke and listening to Make It Plain. As always, perform an act of kindness on behalf of an elder or young person. Write a letter to a sister or brother who just so happens to find her or himself incarcerated. Offer libations to the ancestors upon whose sturdy shoulders we all now stand. And above all, give thanks to the God of your understanding by whatever name you call her and him. All God asks of us is that we give each other love. Thanks for giving MIP love. And please remember to subscribe and give us a 5-star rating. If all hearts and minds are clear, it has been made plain.